Alright, we're going to talk about top side deck cards being used at YCS Chicago. I love doing these side deck reviews because, well, it gives us a chance to kind of see what's going on in the players' heads. Now, I do want to say one thing about this. Droll is not going to be on this list. I'm going to do an updated list later, and we need to have a serious discussion about Droll and Lockbird right now. The application versus 3 of it being correct right now is important. So if you guys want to see that video, please give me some likes on this one. And we'll aim to probably make it next week. I want to give a week of regionals to kind of see what the results are. But let's dig into this discussion, shall we? Alright, we're going to start off with Sphere Mode over here. Going into the event for YCS Chicago, a lot of people knew about Guard Dragon Crusadia. The ability to put multiple negates on a board is pretty fucking good with Hot Red Dragon Archfiend and other things. And I don't know everything really that you can do against that deck except for roll out a Sphere Mode by tributing your opponent's monsters. Now, it's not a bad thing to have it because it does take up your normal summon. Mainly Thunder Dragons, I believe, were the ones that were approaching Sphere Mode as a means to do things. But when you're facing multiple negates, these abilities that try to shut you down, the only real thing you can do is try to use a Kaiju for that. Kaiju's only answer only one monster though, and that's a problem. One isn't enough, and that's kind of where Sphere Mode comes in to kind of do that. Now, if your opponent ends on 2 monsters, I don't know what went wrong for them, and I'm sure as the format evolves, people won't be walking into Sphere Modes as much. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but for this event and probably a couple weeks going forward here, people are going to be looking to Sphere Mode as a means to out these fucking huge boards, to take care of all of these negates, just so that they don't have to deal with them. And I do think that the big yellow orb is going to see a lot more play. So if you're looking for a good side deck card at this moment, I think, honestly, don't look past the yellow ball. I do think that the Giant Testicle is very, very good at what he does. And who's to say that they might not go up even more as a particular card that does out the format? You don't sign this against Sky Striker. Stop thinking that. Somebody actually told me that they cited Sphere Mode for Sky Striker. I'm like, why? What is wrong with you? Now, next up on this list is Summon Limit. And I'm a little bit indifferent about this. I saw a couple Sky Striker players playing this, and they were like, well, this is really the only thing that we can do in certain matchups. I'm like, yeah. You know, obviously it hurts your ability to rotate. You know, like, you have to be a little bit more cautious in how you go about things because it does limit you fundamentally in playing the game. Okay, we get that. Now, against the Danger decks, against the Thunder Dragon decks, you know, things like that, there can only be one as a pretty good card. But you kind of need to look to something to just kind of generally slow down the game. And that's what Summon Limit does. It's perfect. I think it's the best way to do it. Now, a lot of people were playing this in the side for Griffin, and I think setting this off of Griffin is fucking fantastic. Cards that you can have access to off of Griffin for the next turn, oh, absolutely great. I love it. But I love being the butt man. But, you know, you got to make sure it doesn't hurt you. But it's not gonna. It's kind of like Royal Oppression back in the day. You're using it in the exact same way you would use Royal Oppression, because you go first, you spam your boards. You know, back in the day, you'd spam your Dark Arm Dragons, and then you would just set Royal Oppression, and then you watch your opponent try to out your board, and your opponent can't fundamentally do anything. You know, it's kind of the sad thing. It's like, cool, like, extra link you or produce 5 boss monsters, and then some limit. You can't play the game. All right. Now, that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, you're sighting it in, you're slowing down your opponent so that you don't lose the game. That's what we're using these side deck cards for. But yes, Summon Limit is a card that is being approached by a lot of people at the moment as a means to slow down the game. And I think it's a good start. So, not a terrible side deck card. Now, if you've got money, you can side Fanamaze. Fanamaze is the card deciding in Sky Strikers. This little guy right here, so cute. Yes, he is. Literally, draw cards equal to the number of link monsters your opponent controls +1. and then I can take bad cards from my opening hand and shuffle them back in my deck. If Sky Striker goes first, alright, and they like, alright, cool, so my one Shizuku go to end phase, you're like, oh hey, Fanamaze's on the field, you're like, oh shit. Draw 2, fix my hand, go into my turn with a Fanamaze on the field as a monster that I can link with, and it protects me from Widow Anchors. It's almost like they knew that Little Thanos was going to be a power card. I think they made this card as a means to stop Sky Striker specifically. Well, actually it was made more or less for the extra link, because the extra link was kind of dumb, honestly, and having Fanamaze at that time would have been great. But having a built-in negate to kind of stop Sky Strikers, why not? But the price tag is going to detour a lot of people from this, but you get what you pay for, essentially. You're dropping like essentially $65 to $70 for a card that draws 2 and has built-in protection. Seems kind of worth. Oh, and he's got a 2400 body as well. Seems kind of good to me. Don't count out your big ones yet. Kind of lost my train of thought there. But yes, Fanamaze, very, very powerful card. Probably one of the dumbest cards I've seen be released. So many people were main decking this trash and just getting so much fucking advantage off of it. It was mind-boggling. Such a good card. Now, as our love for Sky Striker evolves, everybody and their mothers started citing Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Thunder Dragons can use this card. Trap Trick sets this card. Cosmos, I don't even know why I'm mentioning Cosmos. Cosmos can use it. Everybody, oh, Danger can use it too, because Bigfoot's a dark. Actually, pretty sure they're all dark. I'm pretty sure you can kill Thunderbird with it too. That's besides the point, alright? Everybody and their mother is playing Eradicator Epidemic Virus at the moment. I didn't think this card was gonna... I kind of thought this would just be a trend at this point. Be like, oh, okay, like, we're not gonna play it in such a high volume. Boy, oh boy, was I fucking wrong. This was the heavy storm. Like, all it took was Konami go, oh, you guys want 3 EEV back? Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Altergeist and Sky Striker players. Guru Control. All hate this card. You declare spells on Sky Striker, you declare traps on Guru Control, and the ever so lovely Altergeist. There's a reason why Altergeist didn't make it very far this past weekend, and it's because Eradicator Epidemic Virus exists again. That card is an inherent blowout, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Not at all. That's why these decks that, when you're looking at Ed's deck from this weekend with the lightest Sekka, only 3 spells in the deck. You're not gonna... Game 1, I guess, if you EEV them because you're main decking it, that's fine, but like, this is a side deck discussion, so like, EEV is worthless against, that side of the metagame, and there's fucking nothing you can do about it, so EEV is seeing so much play at the moment in the side deck. If your deck can EEV and has an extra deck target that it can have access to, just kind of be aware that, oh shit, hope you're not playing one of the 4 decks that it dies to, including stun, because Call and Trap is so deadly for these heavy back row decks. And the last card we gotta talk about is actually Red Reboot. Now, just because Altergeist have disappeared doesn't mean that you should stop siding for them. Red Reboot is the card that slays games, alright? Let's be honest here with ourselves. You need that ability to pay half your life points, activate it from your hand, stop your opponent's impermanence, stop your opponent's evenly matched, stop your opponent's trap cards activating for Altergeist, stop your opponent's Subterror Final Battle, proceed to OTK them, blow up their board, do whatever you need to. It's a counter trap card for a reason, and Venus can't negate it, alright? You can't really... Red Reboot is the power card that decks were looking to this weekend to seal up the trap matchup. Going second Sky Strikers for evenly matched, Red Reboot that shit. Nothing to worry about. Now, it is important to understand that yes, Red Reboot does exist. If you're a trap player, much like EEV, much like Sky Strikers to Fanamaze, the pure existence of this card, you've known about it. You're still continuing to play your strategy. It's just, hey, we're still playing this at this point. Yes, the card is still doing what it needs to do for the format. Yes, trap decks are getting weaker and weaker. Solemns are not good this format. It's kind of, we just went from a solemn format to a not solemn format, and it is crazy just how much of an impact the game has changed. But yeah, Red Reboot, the last one, this kind of just is the flow over from last format. Cards still exist to stop Altergeist and any other trap decks that you're going to find to stop evenly matched. You know, the shenanigans that you were dealing with from last format. So that's all I got for the side deck discussion. Those are the big 5 at the moment that you need to be aware of in terms of side deck. Some more pricey than others, but, you know, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! We expect these things. Alright guys, I'm out. Peace.
The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.